So today we're answering two questions. How is the market, and is fall really a good time to sell a home? Hey Pittsburgh, it's Shelly here from the Shelly Killinger Group at RE/MAX CSI. So today we are diving into two very important questions. The first one is, how is the market? And it doesn't matter if I am standing in line at Starbucks or if I'm at a party or at an open house, I'm going to get someone undoubtedly that's going to ask me the question, how is the real estate market? And I welcome it because quite honestly, it's really important that you as a good citizen know what's happening in your real estate market locally. So we're going to talk about that first. And then the second question is fall really a good time to sell a home? And we have some really interesting information there to unpack. So let's start with just some general market stats. So we're taking a look at the month of September. So in the month of September, at the end of the month of September, we had 672 properties that were active on the market for sale. We also, in the month of September, had 270 properties that sold, and unbelievably, our average days on market, guys, 38 days. That's so quick. The market is very strong. It is moving very fast, and quite frankly, if you're looking to sell your home, it's a great time to do it. So let's actually dive into that just a little bit more. Let's take it back to January 1. So at the beginning of 2019, until today, we had 2,631 homes sold this year. Now that is just in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. So if you're in the North Hills, the stat might be a little bit different. If you're outside of the city, the stat might be a little bit different for you. But in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, 2,631 homes sold. That's 283 days. That is on average 9 homes sold per day, which is awesome, and 285 homes sold per month. Those are great numbers, but here is the really interesting thing. And I don't want these just to be numbers for you guys. I want you to be able to actually get some value from this. So if we take these numbers, we are on average selling roughly 285 homes per month in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. If we take our active properties, which is 672 properties, when we divide 672 by the average 285 homes that we are selling per month, that gives us 2.35. Now, you're probably saying, Shelly, what does that mean? 2.35, that could be a lot of things. This, guys, represents, the 2.35 represents our absorption rate. So if we stopped listing properties entirely in the South Hills, it would only take 2.35 months for the current demand to absorb the housing inventory. This means that we have a 2.3 months supply of housing on the market, which is insanely low. We consider anything under 6 months supply a seller's market. So obviously, like 6 would be more of a neutral market. Anything above 6, that's considered a buyer's market. 2 months supply is very, very low. So what does that mean? It is a very hot seller's market. So if you're thinking about selling your home, it's a great time to do it. That's for sure. If you're buying, unfortunately, that does mean a lot of multiple offer situations, houses going quickly. So just consider that if you're buying, but it is definitely a great time to sell. So the answer to the second question, is fall a great time to sell your home? Absolutely. It is a resounding yes, but I don't want to just give you this year's stats. If we actually take a look back to fall of 2018, so September of 2018, if we take a look back at our days on market back then, it was 43 days. So we are doing even better than we were doing last year in terms of how quickly things are moving. Back in last September, it was 43 days. This September, we are 38 days. But what I find really interesting, guys, so typically speaking, our market in Pittsburgh peaks in May and June. That's typically when we see the most homes closed. That is typically when we see the market is moving at its fastest. But if we look at our May stats from this year, so just this past spring, we were at 48 days on market. Guys, right now in September, well, it's October, but our September stats, we're at 38 days on market. We are moving faster now in fall than we were in the spring. So to answer your question of is fall a good time to sell? Yes, absolutely, 100% yes. If you are thinking of selling, fall has always been a great time to sell. People are back to school, people are back in their routines, they have a little bit more time to focus. The weather is still relatively nice, until the holidays hit, and then things do slouch off just a little bit. But fall is a great time, and not to mention the listing photos look phenomenal. So fall typically is a great time to sell, but this fall in particular is a really great opportunity for sellers. So if you're out there, guys, in the South Hills, thinking of selling your home, give us a call, talk to us about selling, because quite frankly, it is a great opportunity. 38 days on market, and honestly, that is the whole South Hills. If you take a look at pockets of Whitehall, pockets of portions of Bridgeville, they're moving pretty quickly as well, even maybe faster than 38 days. So call us, we'll get you some detailed information on your specific neighborhood, but it is a great time to sell. And if you're buying, it's still a good time to buy. Interest rates are great, they're very low. Housing is very affordable, but you just may have to be aggressive in how you offer because there are so many buyers out there looking and because there's not a lot on the market. But I hope that helps you answer the question of, first of all, how is the market? And second of all, is selling in the fall a good idea? If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, and we'll see you next time.